Hey everybody, welcome to a new video. Today I thought I would show off my Spyro collection. First off though, I thought I would just show like my retro consoles, what I have at the moment. Most of it's not set up since we moved house. It's all there, but yeah, I've got PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, Dreamcast, Mega Drive, GameCube, SNES, a Wii with lots of wires everywhere that I cannot wait to have to deal with. Also, sorry if there's loads of background noise. My neighbour's decided to just sit out there jamming on his guitar with the amplifier and the door is open, so hopefully you can't hear that in the background. But anyway, this is my recording room. This is where I record all the footage for my videos and everything else. And this is also my Spyro shrine. So most of the stuff that I have is first for figures. If you don't know who they are, check them out. They do like high quality resin figures and statues. They also do PVC for people that can't afford or have the space for resin. And they have lots of different licenses from different companies, so you should check them out. I decided to do a bit of a recording as well at night time when it was dark, just to sort of appreciate how it looks at night time. It looks a lot cooler at night time, obviously, because all the lights are a lot brighter. Also, the crystal dragons do glow in the dark. They didn't look particularly good there because the lights have been off in that room for quite a while, and they need obviously light to charge and whatever. So yeah, but it's kind of cool. So here we have my little PVC Spyro, my slightly bigger resin Spyro, some mini metal dragons, my life-size bust, which was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, I'll be honest. I kind of forgot how big Spyro actually is. Another PVC version of Spyro from Spyro 2, and then the better version of Spyro 2, giant Spyro plushie, which is vintage, and then the not vintage modern Spyro, which is a completely different colour. Then we've got another Festival Figures, small crystal dragons, some custom Converse, and also the reignited Spyro Festival Figures, and the first Festival Figures Spyro statue, which was my first purchase as well from them, and I love it. So this is all my games. This is my PS2 games and my PS1 games, and a couple of Dreamcast games as well. I've got a few more on the chair that I'm just in the process of sorting out and cataloguing. You've got my Japanese PlayStation 2, which I use to record my Japanese footage, and my English one, which is Power Region, and my general setup of my desk, which is a mess, and I don't care. Obviously got Spyro the Dragon on PS1. You know, like, I wouldn't call myself a proper Spyro fan if I didn't have that. I'd be a bit of a fraud. I also have a Japanese version of Spyro the Dragon. Super cute. I fucking love how he looks on the cover. He looks so cute. It's a shame that they butchered that game. Spyro 2. Yeah, I love that game. It's one of my favourites. With a very derpy looking Ripto. But not as derpy as Enter the Dragonfly Ripto. Still derpy though. He looks so mad. And then, of course, we've got Spyro 3, Year of the Dragon. And very derpy looking Bentley on that cover as well. Why does he look like that? Is he okay? And then, of course, we've got the PS2 versions of the games. We've got A Hero's Tale, which I'm just going to point at. And then, of course, Enter the Dragonfly, which... yeah... Legend of Spyro series, which is alright. I know it's got a very big fan base. It's okay, it's not my favourites. I'll probably get slaughtered for saying that, but I just didn't like how they changed everything so much. There we got the crystal dragons. These guys are absolutely massive. They weigh a freaking ton. It's very hard to place them anywhere. When you press the lights, obviously they've got an off and on switch, but they also have like a glow. Kind of like how Spyro, when he would stand on them and they would glow, which is pretty cool. Although I did notice when I press the buttons at the same time, they are out of sync. So I usually only have them on static lights just because. They also come with these really neat authentication cards so that you can authenticate your product, which is cool. And they have pretty pictures on them. Sometimes if you're lucky you'll get a signed edition if you pre-order, which is neat. We've got our crystal dragons, we've got the metal ones, and that one I think is glow in the dark. This is, I think, their first for figures, PVC Spyro, that was the limited edition with sparks on his wing, which is cute. We've got my custom made Converse, which I painted myself. I didn't do a great job at them, but they were my first shoes that I ever painted on. So give me a little slack. Like I did it with just normal acrylic paints, which I didn't realise until after I'd done was not the proper paints to use on shoes. But I think they turned out okay. And they've also got Scotch Guard on them to protect them if I do decide to ever wear them outside. I've worn them once or twice, but I tend to just like keep them on my shelf as a nice little keepsake. And there is the authentication cards for the PVC Spyros. I think I've got a signed version of that, which is why I have two. And this is the reignited Spyro, so I decided to do his encasement all pretty. I got myself like a big printout of the level which he's featured on, which I think was Night Glide, I think, or Crystal Glide. And the lights on that, I think you can have them static, but I like to have them so that they sort of ripple. I think it looks a lot nicer. That's very soothing to have that on in the background. And then we've got the first for figures resin Spyro, which just has one version of the lighting where it just flickers like flame, which is kind of cool. And we've got a few other little bits in there, like a Spyro purse and the pre-order bonus for the Reignited trilogy, tiny keyring plushie, and also he came with the backdrop, which is in the background, and he also came with these cool gems, like made out of glass, which is really neat. And you can place them on the grass where he stands, but I choose not to do that just because I don't want to scratch up the paintwork. And he, I think, was also signed by the guy who owns the company, which is neat. I got those pretty early, I think, so it's pretty cool. That is Spyro 2 PVC, and then we've got the incense burner, and then the other PVC, which was like the standard edition with the lights. I think there was 3 versions of that, I can't remember, I think I only got 2. I don't know. That is the grand scale bust of Spyro, so that is, even though it's called grand, it is the smaller version, and that is the standard version that I think was unlimited of the PVC Spyro with the limited edition green incense burner. The grand scale is nice, a bit smaller than I expected, but maybe that's because it's kind of dwarfed by the absolute unit that is the life-sized version. And then I've got the retro plushie of Spyro, which I think came from Universal Studios. I was very lucky to come across it in a like a retro video game sort of comic book shop in Glastonbury, and it cost me a pretty penny, but it's worth it. And yeah, that is pretty much most of it. I've also got a Pokemon shelf featuring some of my favourite Pokemon, Snom, and then I think there is also a shelf for Gumi and a shelf for Kangaskhan. They're my 3 favourites. And there is a Hero's Tale. That's probably my favourite PS2 iteration of the Spyro games. I feel like it was closest to the originals in terms of like style and how it played. It's not perfect, the mole lets it down, but yeah. And then of course we've got yeah, Enter the Dragonfly, which is yeah, we'll just put that there. We'll just leave that one there. Yeah, so yeah, I've got a lot of games. So yeah, we got the New Beginning. I think that was the first one I played. I never played the Eternal Night. I have it. There it is. I've never played it. I heard it was the worst one out of all of them. Apparently it's very boring and very plain. And then Dawn of the Dragon, which I've heard is the best one. I think I have the PS3 version as well, but it's downstairs with all the other PS3 games. I have not played the PS2 version, but I played a little bit of the PS3 version and I actually really liked it. I thought it was quite cool, and the fact it's co-op as well is pretty sick. And a quick look at my gaming heads figures as well. So these are also resin, and this is my other person figures, Crash Bandicoot with his Aku mask with his glowing eyes that really creep me out in the dark, I'll be honest. And Sonic's 30th anniversary, which I'm in two minds about keeping. I really like it, but I need the space. There's more Spyro stuff coming out all the time, and I need the space. So we will see if I still have him in a year or so. And then I've got the reignited poster, which is probably one of my favourite pieces of artwork. I just really love the art style. It's perfect. Life-size bust, of course, is absolutely freaking massive because it's life-size. It comes with a really cool turntable though, which came with the actual statue. So does the smaller one. The smaller one also comes with a turntable. I can't give him the full spin around because of where he is, and his wings, they will clip the wall, and I cannot dent the wall because this place is rented, and I also cannot dent the wings because I will cry. Yeah, there's the lights, you got the static, you got the nice little glowy flame effect, which is pretty cool, and then obviously it turns off. The other one does that too. They also have different sets of wings as well, which I haven't shown just because I'm not going to pull them all out. They're all wrapped away at the moment, but they're like folded wings instead of outspread wings, which is kind of cool. And you can interchange them, so you could have one that's folded and one that's stuck out, which is neat. So yeah, that is my recording room and all of my Spyro stuff. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of my things. I am pointing at my PlayStations, but oh yes, of course. Yes, so that great big black box there is what I use to change the electric levels for the Japanese one, because they work on different electrics or some shit, I don't know. Also a bit of potato on my desk from my last video. And rubbish from my last video as well, because I don't... Yeah, I record my stuff, I edit it, I upload, and then I just chill out for a week or two. Yeah, there's all my Pokemon stuff that I said about earlier. There is more Pokemon stuff downstairs, like I have Pokemon cards, loads of folders, and loads of other collectibles and sealed stuff. Very much into Pokemon as much as I am into Spyro. If you want to see my Pokemon collection in another video, let me know in the comments. For now though, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!